Good morning, Gremlinos. It is I, Catherine, your favorite asthmatic, mostly 10-fingered chaos reader. I am in my kitchen because I'm making coffee. I also took a shower, so my hair is doing this slick back thing for right now. I really needed to shower before work. I have a few minutes before. Still, I budgeted my time pretty well today. So I'm making coffee, and then I'll be able to show you the book that I'm going to start with in this reading vlog. But I thought I'd give you like the vague premise of this one. So the vague idea of this vlog is that all of the books will be like LGBTQ plus books. I have 3 of them so far. I'm waiting on one from the library, but it's in. I just have to pick it up. Also, my asthma's being fun because the weather's terrible. But the books themselves are kind of in like, I want to say 2 categories. So 2 of the books I'm reading for the Buzzword reading challenge. Kayla from Books and Lava hosts it, and for the April prompts it's ordinal numbers, and that's like one of the like title. And then the cover version is accessories. And so I have those 2 books already figured out. I'm going to start with the ordinal numbers book because it's the biggest book I have so far. And then the other 2 books that I'm reading in this vlog are books that I found like recommendations for online. So they're books that fit the idea of an LGBTQ plus read. They also would have been books that I think could have worked for the Trans Rights Readathon, because I, for the life of me, always forget that challenge is starting and then it starts and I have not picked out books. I'm always normally reading something else and have like a plan made up that I like made up on the fly, and then I'm like, ah crap, I forgot to do that again, which is so annoying because I want to do the Trans Rights Readathon and I'm just a dope who can't remember dates. I will say this year so far I've been very nebulous on like when anything is, because we've had so much going on with Chloe and I just brain soup. So 2 of the books are books that would have fit for the Trans Rights Readathon if I had actually, you know, remembered like a normal person. So you're gonna see the books. You will probably recognize at least 2 of them from being involved in booktuber videos. The other 2, one I know you have not seen because I got it locally. And then the other one, I don't know. It looked cute and interesting. Cute is like a vague word for it. But I'm gonna get my coffee. You would see my matching mug because I'm wearing my David sweatshirt today. I actually need to push a button on the coffee, so come with me to the coffee machine. I'm gonna push a button so you can see my mug. Yes, my hair is a little goofy. It gives very Peaky Blinders, I feel like. And turn. Okay, so let's push this button. This is my mug. It's a Rose Apothecary mug. I do not remember where I got this. This might actually be from Five Below. I don't know. I've had this for a while, but I was like, oh yeah, I have that mug, so I'm using it today. Also, it's the 8th, and Mr. Fishoder is today's character. But yeah, so I'm making coffee. We'll head to the living room. I will show you the book really fast, and then we will go from there, Gremlinos. I definitely need coffee. I'm really tired. Oh gosh, the lighting here is trash. Hi, this is where I sit for work right now. And there's a giant window behind me. So we're just gonna have to deal with giant window. But the first book of this vlog is going to be, let's see if I can get this in frame for you. There you go, is Gideon the Ninth. And we are only reading this. I say collectively, I don't know if you're reading it, you possibly should, is because, wow, this is, there we go. That's kind of better, not much better. Can I do this? I could just move. It just would be difficult at this point, but we are reading Gideon the Ninth. I am reading Gideon the Ninth. I don't know why I'm saying we, because Jordaline read Gideon the Ninth, Harrow the Ninth, and Nona the Ninth, and was like, it's incredible, space lesbians, it's so good. And I agree with her. I did not realize this was gay. And I am intrigued because, well, I don't read a lot of sci-fi. I was very into the show Killjoys, which was basically queers in space. And I'm wondering if I will enjoy it because I liked Killjoys. So we shall see. Jordaline really hyped it up. And the ordinal number here is 9th. And I did need an ordinal number book. So it like worked out that she was talking about it, and then ordinal number was the theme. So we're going with that one first. We'll see what I think. If I like it, you may see Harrow and Nona in other videos, but I don't know yet. Also, yes, I know the lighting is making my hair look truly bizarre. But that's what we're doing. I'm so sorry that the lighting is trash. But this is where I have to sit. So I will talk to you possibly when I have a book update. I don't know really. I like know when I'm doing lunch with Krista because she's running home to eat really fast. Oh, this lighting is truly bad. I'm so sorry. And then she has to go back to work and I have to go back to work, but yeah, I might have a Harrow the Ninth update for you. Gideon. I'm reading Gideon the Ninth. I keep wanting to say Harrow the Ninth because for some reason I thought that was the first book. I was incorrect. I don't know why I thought that. Maybe they were advertising it last Pride. Maybe. Or maybe it was out on a shelf or something. I don't know. I feel like I've just seen Harrow the Ninth more than Gideon, which is odd. But I'm gonna go. This lighting is bad. I will talk to you in better lighting, I promise. My dear Gremlin Nose. Hello, Gremlin Nose. I did not do my hair today. I did put on eyeliner because I was finishing the last little bit of a tube. And of course, everyone is barking now. It's the end of my workday. The lighting is slightly better than it was yesterday. I am wearing my Ouija pajamas. They're, well, okay, it's technically just a sweatshirt that I got on deep discount after Halloween ages ago, but I basically just wear it as a pajama top, and today I did not feel like getting dressed, so I'm wearing this and some Grogu pajama pants for work. Again, work is over. There's a cat that is making a lot of noise, and Chloe's barking at the cat. Chloe! Oh my goodness gracious. It's just a cat. It's literally only a cat. But I want to give you some kind of update because I have read about 140 pages of Gideon the Ninth. I am really enjoying it so far. I will say going into it, I just had to kind of like not, this is a me thing. So I basically had to be like, there is world building in this, and I am so bad at like fantasy-esque world building. And while this is sci-fi, it's making me think of like multiple kingdoms because it's like there are 9 planets. There's like a main planet, and like Harrowhark, who is like the lady of the 9th planet, and like technically based on how it goes, it's sort of like a princess ish. I will say her parents are the lord and lady. They should be in charge of the kingdom, but they are not. Harrowhark is, and Harrowhark is supposed to have a cavalier, but her cavalier is her like cousin, and basically Chloe, no one wants me to update, and basically the cavalier is just not going to cavalier for her because Harrowhark and her cavalier have been called away to the like main, like this big planet for this like, it seems like a competition, but we haven't really gotten what it is. It's like a Lycote or something. It's to basically become some kind of very influential thing, and like very important, and you would like somehow achieve immortality possibly. The thing to keep in mind here is apparently the entire kingdom, like the entire planetary system, everyone is in some capacity a necromancer, but the 9, so like the 9th planet that Gideon and Harrowhark are from, is different. Like it seems to also have kind of its own variation on the standard religion of everything that's going on. And what I had to do here is, admittedly, in my head, I'm kind of picturing it like the sci-fi show Killjoys, where like you don't really know everything about everything and you just have to like go and you'll be fine, and not knowing everything about everything is fine. They do try and explain the planets to you. That completely, nope, did not stick in my head, which is fine. And I'm finding that it's fun. I'm having a very fun time. I just have to not get hung up on understanding what is going on, because also Gideon has no idea what's going on. Gideon was actually trying to escape the 9th planet, and Harrowhark stopped her, mostly because she hates her, but also because they've decided, like, everyone has decided that Gideon has to be Harrowhark's cavalier. So Gideon is now with Harrowhark, or Harrow. In this, Harrowhark is always Harrowhark, that's it, but I know the second book is called Harrow the Ninth, so I believe that name will be shortened, so I may say Harrow instead. But Gideon has to go with Harrow, and so the two of them are on this like new, well, different planet in like a dilapidated castle that also has like a vague air of like, they call it a castle, but like as they're describing it, I'm like, this sounds like a castle, but also weird parts of it seem not like a castle, because they said lifts, like there are elevators. So my brain has made this conglomerate of like a castle and like what I assume very, very, very fancy office buildings looks like, with like multiple banks of elevators in them. So in my head, it's like a combination of like castle that's falling apart and like steel office building. I guess. That's what's happening in my head. But Gideon is there, but Harrowhark is doing her own thing. Like, she is trying to become like the best of all of the people there. They have a name and it's slipping my mind right now. But she is, it seems like, trying to win whatever this like training is. I don't know that winning is a thing exactly, but like she's like very intense in the work. And so Gideon is just by herself most of the time. And for parts of this is not even speaking so far. And so we're just following Gideon, who's kind of like, I don't even know, like I had to learn all this stuff. I don't know what's happening. I'm just getting like food. Whoa, Chloe! Chloe's just yelling at cats. But it's a very fun time. Gideon and Harrow, or Harrowhark, stop, Chloe, basically sound like they hate each other consistently. Like, they're threatening each other. It's horrible. But like, Harrowhark trusted Gideon enough to bring Gideon with her. And now technically it's solely because Gideon was the only option. But I'm like, you two have known each other since you were small children. And like, the hate definitely feels very like hate to lovers. Like, it's a very like, oh, I will feed you bone meal and punch through your guts if you don't do what I say. And I'm like, okay, Harrowhark, that's a lot of planning. And like, Harrow does the most when trying to screw with Gideon. So, also, Chloe, it's just Bane. He's just sitting. I'm gonna show you what she's barking at. Chloe, stop. The one other thing I wanted to bring up before I show you what is happening over here is that Harrow consistently calls Gideon Griddle, and it cracks me up every time. I'm like, Griddle? Why Griddle? We haven't gotten an explanation for it either. It's just Gideon is Griddle. Anytime Harrowhark has to talk to her, it's Griddle, what are you doing? Griddle, and I'm like pancake Griddle? What is happening? But this is what's happening. Okay, that's my recap for now. I have like 300 pages to go. I am enjoying it, just I haven't had a lot of time to read. Oh, now she's moved. She does not want you to know. Oh, you have a nugget. Hi, she has a nugget. But yeah, so that's how far I am. Something big-ish has kind of happened, so I'm sure a lot more stuff is going to continue happening. It seems like it's just going to keep ramping up because a kind of ramp-up moment has occurred. But yeah, so it's very exciting. I'm enjoying myself. I was concerned at first because I was like, oh no, space slash... It's like the fantasy kingdoms kind of build up where I get very lost. So I was like, oh no, there's like a glossary of like who is who and what is what. And also, do I need to remember this? Because I was like, I'm not going to remember this. My brain barely holds things half the time. And I don't know that I can keep up the entire lore of these kingdoms. Oh, now he's jumped on a table. Oh, goodness. Oh, I knew I was going to cough. And now my voice is going to go. I've been coughing all day. Sorry, I'm not taking it out. It's a combination of like my asthma and something's going on with my sinuses. They're fighting each other a great deal. Anyway, very much enjoying it. I really just like Gideon and Harrowhark, and I'm liking some of the characters we have met, who are like Cavaliers and whatever the other thing is. It's like a representative of the planet of like the royal family there in short, like in basic-ish terms. So yes, I am enjoying it. I'm just going with the flow. I'm not trying to remember who is like what thing is what thing or how things are going. Just because again, soup. There's soup up here. So yes. But this is, okay, so this is the scenario we have over here. I'm just gonna turn this. So Chloe is here. She was closer to this gate. And that's Binks now. And now Kira's grumbling at Bane. So Binks and Bane have like been walking in and around here. And so Chloe was barking at Bane for being too close to the gate. And then Kira just barked at Bane for going that way. And she's probably gonna bark at Binks because he's gonna try and do something to the couch. Oh, she didn't. But that's what was happening. They were just barking at cats. But yes, but I'm gonna go. I will talk to you later. Please enjoy these two puppies and Kira making her big break into the living room. She's gonna do it. Hold on. She's been doing this for a little bit. Kira, don't chew it. If she doesn't fix it, I'll let her in. We separated them so everyone could eat. But I'm gonna go. I will talk to you later, Gremolinos. Probably not till tomorrow, I think. That's my thought. Hello, Gremolinos. It is a little bit before work. My coffee cup is here. It says death before decaf. It felt very Harrow Gideon coded. I'm also wearing a shirt that says love you to death. It's a Valentine's or like Halloween / Valentine's Day thing, but you know, all the necromancy. It felt very, very appropriate. I also did my hair and my makeup. And what's funny is I kind of have Gideon's haircut. You can't super tell, but Gideon has the like uppercut, but it's like styled up, and I just didn't do that. But speaking of Gideon the Ninth, I have about 150 pages left at this point. It's a hefty book, but I'm getting through it very quickly. Y'all, it has turned into like a murder mystery. I am having an incredible time. I though just realized something. One sec. I'll be right back. Hold on. Oh, the dogs are actually about to bark. There's something going by. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, hi. I am back. So the thing was, it is before work, but I was like setting up for work before I started filming, and I realized that I didn't log into something that I need to log into, and it sometimes takes that a little bit to load, and so I wanted to take care of that, so that I had that all up and running in time. But back to Gideon the Ninth. So yeah, the entire thing has like turned into like a murder mystery, but now we're getting more of the other houses because weird stuff is going on. There are definitely like things they're supposed to do, and like some kind of challenge aspect for them to become, oh, I'm gonna forget, I know it's L-Y-C, Lear Courts? Oh, I can't remember now. Ugh, it's driving me, I cannot remember that word. But like, they're all involved in this, but now everyone's kind of at each other's throats. Because of this, Gideon is now allowed to talk because Harrow actually needs more of Gideon's assistance than I think she expected. And because of that, Gideon is interacting with more of the houses and the other Cavaliers and the other, folks, the other necromancers. I think it's like adepts, but they're all necromancers, so it's all fine. But like, horrifying stuff is happening. Like, there are like bone monsters showing up. Like, Gideon has almost died at a certain point, like knowingly almost died. Like, it was wild. I'm having a great time. Harrow and Gideon are getting much closer, which I did anticipate. Again, it does read very enemies to lovers, kind of. It's very slow, but like, Gideon gave Harrow a hug, and like, Harrow didn't lose her mind. And so I'm just like, it's so interesting. Also, Gideon is very into just like kind of looking at beautiful women. Like, there are other necromancers like from the other houses, and sometimes she'll just be like, oh wow, she's so pretty. And I'm like, oh my goodness, Gideon. I am loving it. I also love the very real discussion of, so per like the 9th house rules, Gideon needs to wear that skull face paint that is visible on the cover, but it's like oil makeup. Like, it basically sounds like the kind of like paint on makeup you would use if you were doing a very intense like clown look. Like, it's very thick, very greasy, and it's actually giving Harrow breakouts, or Gideon breakouts. Like, Gideon's like, I'm getting pimples, like you can see them because of this stupid makeup, which Gideon doesn't want to wear but has to. So it's been very interesting. There have been duels, there's been so much going on. I will say I have been having a tiny issue with all of the other people's names. Those we have not interacted with a lot. I can't remember their names. So when they come up, I'm kind of like, ooh, who are you again? But that's a me thing. I knew I was gonna have issues with names because there's a lot of people. Some people I'm fine. I have remembered their names and I know who they are like right away. But if if Gideon hasn't really interacted with them, I cannot super remember them. Harrow has mentioned some of them outside of like people Gideon has interacted with, but that doesn't entirely help me. So I am having an issue with people's names, but again, that's a me problem. I have that issue when I read books that have a lot of people in them. I'll sometimes like forget names or transpose names. Like, I'll flip a name or think two people are the same person. It's happened to me a lot in other books, so it's not this book's fault. I just sometimes have that issue my own self. But I am very much enjoying it. I'm hoping to finish it today and then I can fill you in. Also, I have this on my nose. It's not even like, I can't tell what it is. I put zit cream on it. It's just very irritated now, but it doesn't feel like a zit. It feels more like, I don't know, maybe, a clogged pore that didn't turn into a zit. I don't know, it's just bugging me. But yes, so I'm going to go. I just want to give you that update and show you my fun coffee mug and matching shirt. I love being on theme. So yeah, but I am very much enjoying it. I love Gideon a lot. Gideon is a delight. They're very funny. She is very funny. And then her interactions with Harrow are fun, especially now that Harrow is involving Gideon more in what's going on. But I must go. So I will talk to you either during lunch or after work. I haven't decided. Krista and I are going out for dinner. I probably won't bring you because it feels like it's not in town, but also I feel like it'll be very odd to film there. So I will tell you about the dinner after because we're going to a place we've never been before. But I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you sometime later today, dear Grimalinos.
You have to call them Bainalinos.
Bainalinos? Hi, Bainalinos. So hi, Grimalinos. My eye makeup is a hot mess. I'm about to get ready to lay down and read / go to bed. But so yeah, Kristen and I did not wind up going out to dinner at the new restaurant because Chloe, you see, was totally fine all day. Yeah, my eye makeup is a disaster. She was totally fine all day, like playing with Bruni and Kira / policing their behavior because she loves to do that, barking at random things, playing with toys. And then at like, it was like 5 almost, right? She went to go eat her food and she like yelped, but like yelped and like lifted her foot up in the air. So I thought maybe she caught it on this like gate thing we're using to separate the living room. You've seen it. But like her foot, there's like nothing wrong with it. Like we've checked her foot over and over, and then she was like fine. And then she like jumped off the couch onto the bed in the middle of the floor. And then she did it again, much louder, like freaking out. And Kristen and I have both examined her feet, all 4 of them. Nothing seems to be wrong. We can't figure it out. But because we didn't know what was going on, we still don't know. And like she's been on it since then and she's been fine. Like she jumped off the bed, she's jumped off the couch we have in the bedroom, and she's been fine. We literally have no idea. We decided we didn't want to drive because the restaurant's like a half hour away.
15 minutes.
Thank you. Chris is about to go to bed. I'm gonna stop asking her questions. So it's like 15 minutes away, and then we were gonna have to eat, and then we were gonna have to drive back, and I needed to also stop at the grocery store because I need to get chicken for Chloe. We decided to just pick up the chicken, and I picked up some soda for Krista, and then we swung by a place in town for food that we just like picked up to go. The food from in town was eh. We've gotten food from them before, and like the quality of the food just keeps going down. So yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. Dinner was fine, but we ate with her up here, and again she was fine, but then like she randomly laid down, like went to lay down and stretched her feet out and did this, like yelped, and we checked them all again. She's letting us check them. We can't feel anything up the leg, nothing. We have literally no idea. Like I don't know. But yes, we just stayed home. Hi Binks. All the cats are now in the bedroom. But I did actually finish Gideon the Ninth. So I wanted to tell you my thoughts. It has been a little bit. I finished it like around my lunch break-ish. But I finished it. So I told you it had gotten into like murder mystery territory, and that like really ramps up because more and more stuff keeps happening, where like no one really knows what's going on. Everyone's getting very like intense with each other, and also you can't know who you can trust. This gets like the closer to the end it gets, the wilder it gets. More things start getting revealed. Some truly frightening stuff happens to some people. And then we also learn more about Gideon and Harrow, and their time on like in the 9th house. And we learn something in this discussion that is key to both of them. So there are like 2 big secrets that are revealed. And then we get to the end of the book and something horrifying happens, but also because of a thing from earlier, we don't know if that like happened. Like I don't know. Because like Gideon does so much at the end of the book, but like we also don't really get technically a solid ending. It does really just lead into Harrow the Ninth. And so I did request Harrow the Ninth and Nona the Ninth, which is 2nd and 3rd books. They won't be in this vlog. I did request them. Apparently my library already grabbed them for me, but like you don't know. Also, the TV keeps cycling through ads that are blue, just so you know. That's why the colors keep changing. Yeah, I just don't know. Like so many wild things were happening. Harrow and Gideon suddenly became adorable together, even though they still kind of hate each other. But like so much was happening. Just so much is happening at the end of it. It like wildly ramps up. Everything goes from like tense to very, very frightening. And there's like skeletons everywhere and just unbridled skeleton stabbing is what I'll say. But it was wild. There were like a lot of reveals. I got better at remembering everyone's name by the end of it, which was helpful to me. But they do reiterate people's names more the farther you go in. So I stopped being as normally confused as I am by a number of names. But I really, really did like it. It did remind me of Killjoy some. So if you liked Killjoys, or if you like Gideon the Ninth, I would say you should check out Killjoys. It's very gay. It's very much like gays in space. So very, very good. very glad that I read it for the Buzzword ordinal number choice. So thank you, Jordaline, for mentioning it. Now, the second Buzzword book for this vlog that I will be reading is Witch's Brew by Sapphire Lesbos. Yeah, I got this from this like local bookstore. They had a little stall and this was the only sapphic book she had left. She actually was like, I normally have more, I got cleaned out on my last event. And I picked this because there's like a brooch, there are earrings, there's a headband, there's a little broomstick, like everyone has lots of accessories going for them. So yeah, I know nothing. The description's on the back, but I haven't read this at all. It's so tiny. So I'm gonna read it before I go to bed to knock out my second Buzzword. Oh, you look very cute, Say. So cute. I'm gonna show you Salem. Ta-da. You want them to be Saleminos? Is that it? She looks so cute. And she's falling asleep. Everyone is sleeping. My wife is sleeping. I really gotta stop filming. And then Chloe's sleeping there. And Binks is right here. But yeah, so this is the next Buzzword book that I'll be reading. Witch's Brew. And I'm excited. It looks very cute. But I will talk to you sometime tomorrow, Gremolinos. Please enjoy Salem laying on my Coochie Kopi blanket. But yeah, I'll talk to you in the morning, Gremolinos. Hello, Gremolinos. Do not judge the flush. I had 2 ciders with lunch. I only had them because it was 1911 cranberry cider, which is out of season, but it was the one they had at the restaurant we went to. So, quick recap of the day. I got up at 6 technically, gave Chloe her liver meds, got back up at 8:30 to take Chloe out and give her the rest of her meds and take everyone else out. And then I had to do some house stuff like dishes, water, things. And then I went back upstairs with Krista and I went back to sleep. We were supposed to be watching the rest of Breaking Bad and I completely passed out. And then around 11, we like got up officially, got dressed. I'm wearing my Ottawa Centaurs sweatshirt. Krista's wearing the cute one she got me for Valentine's Day, but Chloe cuddled her a little and so she has dog hair on it. But we got up around then. We drove to get gas and coffee at Stewart's. And then we headed to the home show, which you would have seen a very tiny clip of. White's, which, are they New York based or are they national?
I think so.
So,
We're near.
So White's is like a paint and home supply store. They have a home show that they do every April. And we went this year, but we were actually only there for 15 minutes. We thought it was more like demos and like seeing how the stuff would work in your house, because it's like stuff you need for your house, like shingles or flooring or wallpaper. I actually didn't see any wallpaper.
It was like siding and
yeah, they had a little bit of stuff for paint, but I couldn't tell if it was indoor or outdoor paint.
yeah.
And so we like walked around. It was free to get into, but we only stayed a little and we left. And then we went to Goodfellows. And we've never been there before. We've been trying to go. That's where we were gonna go yesterday, but we went for lunch. Also, FYI, Chloe is doing fine. She didn't react to her foot. She is favoring it, so we don't know if she like bruised it or like stepped on it funny. Like neither one of us is sure what is going on with her foot, because there's no cut, there's no abrasion of any kind, there's no issue with the bones. Like we've pushed on it enough to know that there's no bone reaction, but we right now the running theory is she bruised it. So we decided we would go get, I know all the angles are terrible, we're in the car and there's so many chickens. We went to Goodfellows for lunch and they were kind of slow, but the food was really good. We really liked the truffle fries. We liked, I'm just gonna call it seafood pasta because I legitimately don't know what it was called. It was like a seafood pasta. It was really good. And we got some cheese bread that tasted like it was fine. It was very like Little Caesars plus, but it was good. And we got a pizza to go. We also wound up, because you can see the bag, kind of, I think. If not, there's a bag back there. We stopped in at this liquor store that randomly opened across the street, and I got a bottle of wine that is Dracula blend, and it has a cape. It's adorable. And we got a gin tasting set that has 3 gins in it, like really like mid-sized bottles, I would say, because I like gin and we have some stuff so I can make gin cocktails if we want. But normally I would not drink during lunch, but they just happen to have cranberry 1911 cider, which is one of my favorites of theirs. And because our food kind of took a while, I wound up getting a quote unquote refill. Refills were not free even for soda, which we didn't realize. But I had 2 ciders while we were waiting, but we were there for like probably 2 hours, right? Because it was a while. So we did that, and then now we're headed very quickly to Ollie's so Krista can do some price matching on flooring for a project in the upstairs, not currently bedroom, but Krista wants to make it the bedroom.
It's the biggest room.
It is bigger. My wife is very handy. I am not. I will probably be asked to help with painting, and then I will paint very poorly, and my lovely wife will have to paint over what I paint. This has happened before.
You'll be asked for help with moving everything out
yes,
of it. So I the flooring.
I will mostly do furniture. I was good with the flooring.
I know, you'll help me with the flooring.
Yes, I installed flooring with Krista because we bought click and lock flooring, and had you not done click and lock before? So you hadn't and your dad hadn't.
Clearly, because he busted a box and a half.
Oh my god.
An entire box and a half.
Yeah.
And it's not cheap flooring.
No. So
it's
we
marble.
bought this, like, it looks like marble. It's technically faux marble, I guess, because it's click and lock. We bought this flooring on sale a while ago. This was a couple of years ago at least. And so Krista and her dad were going to floor together because they put in flooring together before. And I was working. And I came down and you were like, so much flooring is broken.
Because
he kept putting it down and then smashing it.
And then when it broke or something, then
he would like break it
up against the wall and just.
And it didn't make any sense because it was bad.
And he wouldn't let me touch any of it to try and see like if I could figure it out.
It was confusing because he had used the exact same flooring in his house.
But
because
then we saw how he put it down.
Right.
And we realized he didn't put it down
correct.
correctly.
So when I got off work, I was looking at the directions for the flooring because, again, I am not the handy gay here. My lovely wife is the handy gay. I'm the emotional support gay. She let me look at the directions and I was like, oh, it's like a puzzle. And she was like, what? And I was like, well, the flooring locks into each other, so you just have to line it up and lock the pieces. And that's what it was. It's click and lock. So you like slide the pieces in a certain way. And between the two of us, we were able to put in the entire flooring overnight except for the goofy pieces.
Like 98%.
Yeah, the only pieces we couldn't put in were ones that needed custom cut to the door frame, and we didn't have a saw that could be used because we would have needed a circular saw. So her dad did cut pieces, but like I actively had to, you measured them because I'm very bad at tape measures. So my wife does all the measuring and then we drew like what needed cut. And even then we had to have backup pieces because her dad did not understand the flooring somehow at all. But we did that together. But you're hoping to do a click and lock for the upstairs other room. So in our house, we have one room, literally just one room. Well, my office technically has carpet. So there's one room where there is carpet installed, and it's what we call the closet room, but it is technically bigger than our bedroom. And so ultimately we are going to at some point move the bedroom to a different room and make the current bedroom my office. Though my current office will just kind of remain like a bookshelf room.
Like the library.
Yeah, because my office has, it is not installed. It's basically a carpet remnant that they like sized and flung on the floor. So just pretend it's like a throw rug because it's not attached to anything. Like I could lift it up at any point because they didn't put it under the floorboards, like the baseboards.
On the right.
Hello. You're just telling everyone our address now. Hoping I talked over it loud enough. So we had done flooring. We're probably gonna do flooring for that room. But you looked at some online, we looked at some at Lowe's.
Arriving at 335.
Seriously? Stop! Stop! We don't live there. That's not our house. I really hope you didn't hear that. Okay. So I'm even more flushed now. So yeah, so we're going to look at flooring really quick and then we'll go home. But I did want to tell you, I read all of this little novella, Witch's Brew, last night. It's very cute. The characters are Cynthia and Tabitha. Cynthia runs a pumpkin farm, like a pumpkin patch and a corn maze, and this is set during the fall, and she falls for Tabitha, who is a teacher who has brought her class for a little like field trip, and there's tea. It's very cozy, very fall. There's a talking cat named Rufus, and it's all it's just sweet. It's very sweet, very chaste, so any age could read this. I did follow the author on Instagram, and I feel like you can probably get these through like probably Amazon. This feels like a indie published book that you would get through Amazon or Kindle, but it is very, very cute, and I did read it for Buzzword, the Buzzwordathon, so it is my accessories choice. So I finished my April picks, and the next book I will be reading is Dear Mothman by Robin Gow. Robin Gow? Yeah, Robin Gow. And the setup of this is actually kind of sad. I saw it pop up during Trans Rights Readathon, which I don't know why I can't say that. But I keep forgetting Trans Rights Readathon exists in March. I blame the fact that so many things are always going on for us seemingly between January and February that it just falls out of my brain. But this involves a trans kid who, their best friend, I don't know, I think it's, let me flip the thing. So it's set halfway through 6th grade. Noah's best friend and the only other trans boy in his school, Lewis, passes away in a car accident. Feeling lost and alone, Noah starts writing letters to Mothman, Lewis's favorite cryptid, wondering if he would understand how Noah feels. So I feel like it's going to be a little bit sad, but a little bit sweet. I don't know. I was intrigued when I saw it. So this next book, it's very short, even though it looks a little heftier, because it's written in letter format and like kind of poetry layout from what I can tell. It really does look like poetry layout. So I am very curious to read it. That'll be next, and I have one more book lined up for this vlog, but I will talk to you later. Grandma knows. Yes, I'm very flushed from the cider, but we're just gonna hang out after Ollie's. And this is a very long clip where hopefully I yelled over the GPS enough. Just know I don't live where it said I live. We put in a fake address. Totally fake. Definitely fake. Always fake. Anyway, I will talk to you later, Grandma. Ta-da! This is the wine I picked up. It was only 16? 14? It was not that expensive. But he has a cape, and it says Dracula's Red Blend, and it's very cute. It was just fun. So I picked that up. And then this is the gin set that I got. It's 3, I feel like those are medium-sized bottles. Like, those will last us a while. And I can make little, like, gin cocktails out of them, which is fun. This was 25. I do remember that. I think that was only, like, 12 or 16. But yeah, so I think that's fun. I'm gonna set this aside so out of the way. But yeah, we're home, if you couldn't tell. We ran by Ollie's, and just checked flooring, some book stuff, but nothing to like write home about book-wise. And Krista just took the dogs out. But yeah, this is just so gosh dang cute. It's so fun. I also love that it's a cape. And I feel like I could put this on like an American Girl doll or like something. It's not elasticy. I thought I could put it on the cats, but it's very firm. But I can use this for something. So the cape will not go to waste, I swear. It's just way too cute. Anyway, gonna go. Talk to you later, Grandma knows. Good morning, Grandma knows. I have made coffee. I'm very tired. I feel like the lighting over here is very weird, but sorry. It's where I have to sit. I have my stuff set up for work and I can't really sit anywhere else. So this is where I'm sitting. I am using my True Squares mug. I love this mug. And I'm wearing my, well, this is technically Krista's Harley and Ivy sweatshirt. Mine is somewhere in the bedroom, like it's in a hamper or something, and I cannot find it for the life of me. Oh look, you can see my headset, that's fine. The lighting is slightly better if I do this, kind of. So I am here to give you a book update. Yesterday I didn't vlog at all, I debated. So Krista wanted to look at some flooring and we accidentally, like, I did all this stuff with Chloe and then we went back to sleep and we accidentally slept way later than we planned. And then we went on errands and we took Chloe with us because her foot we thought was doing better and it was fine-ish on Saturday. Like she like yipped once when she stepped on it, but overall it was fine. And again, we can't like see anything, feel anything. And so we took her with us on errands yesterday, which was mostly just to go to get this small business, oh sorry, that was loud. Small business bingo card because this area, like it's technically a video game store called like Infinite Lives, but someone either working in the store or connected to the store set up like a new book section. So they have like this small book section that's like 2 full-size bookshelves and then like a side shelf with some stuff on it, and they are hosting a contest with small business bingo that goes through until the 25th, but you could pick up your bingo card yesterday. So we put Chloe in the car. The other 2 stayed home. They had stuff, like they have toys and things, so they were not like not doing anything. So we took her, I went in, got the bingo card, and I saw something that was very exciting when I got the bingo card, and I was like, I'm not gonna get it right now, like I'll get it later or whatever. And so I went back to the car and I was telling Krista that I found something, and she was like, it's not that expensive, like you could get it, like if you really really want it, you should go get it. And also if I got something, it could count as a bingo check off. It's an honor system, so you just like write like where you went and the date, it seems like, or at least like what you did kind of. But for treat yourself basically, I got the Gremlins Gremlins the official cookbook. I am so excited. I've only skimmed this. Some of it is gross. It is Gremlins 1 and Gremlins 2, so some of it is stuff that's like Christmassy, some of it is like gremlin-y. And I say gremlin-y like the food is gremlin like specific. Like there's a blended gremlin smoothie, which, you know, what Billy's mom does to that gremlin, but like I'm gonna have to make that smoothie. There's also some stuff I'm not making that's like gelatin based, but I'm so curious. I like skimmed it a little bit, but I was like, I have to have it. I have to have this. I need this in my life. So I'm very excited. I did actually like pick it up, put it back, walk away, talk to Krista, and then go back and get it. So I didn't like immediately buy it, but I'm so excited to have it. I'm definitely making stuff out of there. I told Krista I'm making the smoothie, but she will hate it because it's like, it's a green smoothie basically, but eventually you'll see it, not in this video. I will at some point make this green smoothie. But beyond that, oh, we also looked at like flooring, and we took Chloe with us, but that we tried not to stay super long, and we only brought her into Home Depot because she was like she was walking around okay in the house, and it was probably a bad idea because we think she maybe like injured her soft tissue, like basically a bruise, and because she was like fine for most of the day, and then when we got home she like would be fine, and then she would like step oddly. We can't figure out where it is. We think it's like in the center. I can't really gesture it to you, but we think maybe she like injured herself a little bit on the center of her foot, but not on her pad. And we can't feel like a broken bone or like there's no cuts or abrasions or anything, so it's just tricky. Krista has asked Chloe very politely if she could try to do fewer things that causes heart attacks, because we like can't figure it out. We're keeping an eye on it. If she's not doing better on it by Wednesday, we're gonna call her vet and see if we can bring her in on Saturday to get it x-rayed. She has an appointment, but it's not until June. No, not June. April. It's in my phone. Don't worry. I have her appointment. It has to be April. But maybe it is June. No, it's May. Oh my gosh. My brain is soup. It has to be in May. I'm skipping a month in my brain. But yeah, so she has an appointment, but it's not for a little while. And if it is broken, we don't think it is, like, it's just tricky because like we don't know. We've pushed on it, we've prodded it, we've done so many things to try and figure it out, and nothing we do has elicited any sound, but she'll like step on it randomly and then make a sound, and then she'll step on it again and be fine, so we cannot figure it out. But yeah, so she's resting. The downside here is Kira's a little upset because we have to leave Kira over here, like she's on the other side of the room with Bruni because we don't want them playing, so she'll rest. But she is resting. And yeah, so we probably did not help it by taking her to Home Depot. We weren't there very long, and she sat for a lot of it because Krista was like looking at stuff, but it sucks. But back to books. Last night while we had Chloe upstairs and she was resting, I read all of Dear Mothman by Robin Gao, which is a story in verse, and this is such a sweet, sad, emotional book. In this we follow Noah, who is writing letters to Mothman because their friend Lewis died in a car accident, and Lewis is the only person that knew Noah as Noah, and Noah is the only person who knew Lewis as Lewis. So they're really the only two trans kids at their school, but the issue here is they have not really shared that with anyone, and the thing that Noah in this moment latches onto in their grief, I believe Noah's pronouns are they, them. There is one reference to Noah by someone where they say, oh, I was talking about them. So I believe Noah is they, them. So Noah wants to kind of focuses on Mothman because Lewis had always been adamant that Mothman existed. And Lewis was more into like the supernatural, the paranormal, cryptids, and Noah just kind of went along with it, never really thought they were real. But because Noah is gone, or Lewis is gone, Noah becomes sort of very focused on Mothman. We also learn in this that Noah is autistic. That does come up in how Noah is expressing emotion, and Noah does mention like that outburst is because of this, and they do reiterate their identity as being autistic, and they also do eventually call themselves trans. That's the only reason I am using that term. At a certain point, Noah is not sure if they are trans or not. So the book is really a journey of Noah understanding themselves and becoming comfortable telling people. Noah does tell their parents to call them Noah. Noah tells a teacher. Noah tells a new group of friends. And that new group of friends does come into this a bit. Hannah becomes very close to Noah, and Hannah at a certain point is also writing letters, and that becomes part of the story. But Noah's focus on finding and revealing that Mothman is real is tied very much to their grief for Lewis. And Mothman kind of becomes this person who doesn't judge Noah, but that Noah can talk to. So the letters to Mothman are discussing like identity, who Mothman is, but also who Noah is. And there are like poems in here that are like events outside of the story, so you know what is going on beyond just the letters to Mothman. But it's just so touching, and it's just like so much of an examination of grief, but also change and understanding yourself. And Mothman is really just kind of this, I have to take a sip of coffee, sorry, I'm gonna cough. Yep, one sec. But in this, Mothman is really just a listener, a safe person, someone Noah can share with who is not judging, but Noah does think is there. And the focus of the science fair project that Lewis had wanted to do becomes Noah's focus. And I don't know, it's just very sweet. There are some drawings in here that are cute, but it was a very emotionally touching story. And I would very highly recommend this. This was recommended for Trans Rights Readathon. Again, brain is soup. Miss Trans Rights Readathon again, but I would have read this if I had, you know, not failed epically at dates. Also, we've had a lot going on. So I feel like trying to do an actual like readathon was going to be hard. I was able to do Winterween because Chloe wasn't sick yet. And I'm hoping to do Summerween, and I'm doing the Buzzword challenge, but the Buzzword challenge is like 2 books a month. So it's a bit easier, but like, I don't think I could take on any other challenges. And like Summerween, I'm just gonna do because Summerween is fun, and you can even technically pick like 1 or 2 books and do that because you're allowed to stack. But I would have read Dear Mothman for Trans Rights Readathon, and I would strongly recommend this just because it's so well done, and it's just so touching. I would even like just in general recommend it, but I do think this is like a beautifully told story of like understanding yourself, but also dealing with a very traumatic life event. But yeah, it was very beautifully done. I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. And then now moving on to the final book of the vlog, which also could have counted for Trans Rights Readathon. This is Chef's Kiss by TJ Alexander. I have read Triple Sec by TJ Alexander and loved it. That is basically a throuple romance novel, but it was so good. Kayla mentioned reading this one, and I don't know that it says, I believe TJ Alexander identifies, I know they use they them pronouns. I am not 100% sure of how they identify, so I'm not going to get into that until I do some slight research, but I do believe they said their books would count for Trans Rights Readathon, so I'm just gonna throw that in there. I very much loved Triple Sec. There's a video where I talk about it, and I just had like the best time. But I'm curious about Chef's Kiss. What's interesting is it seems like we focus, and I do remember saying this, we focus on Simone, who is like, I think a cis white woman. And Ray is a character that comes out as non-binary, which I believe TJ Alexander is non-binary, but I'm not 100% sure. But we focused on Simone, and I remember Kayla saying the book was good, but she thought that it should have focused on Ray instead. So I'm curious to see where this goes, because in Triple Sec, everyone is queer, and we do follow, I believe in that one, that one of the I do think we follow a non-binary character. Gender in that is very like flexible from what I remember for one of the characters. And I think the main character is non-binary. But yeah, so I'm curious to see how this one is. Krista is covering a court tonight, so I will be home and I will be resting with Chloe. So my goal is to read after work and also at lunch. I know this is a long clip, but I had a lot to tell you. I will talk to you sometime later today, probably not until after work, but we'll see. But yeah, so I will talk to you later, Gremolinos. Also, let's all hope that Chloe's foot is just better by the end of the day. That would be great. So great. Incredible. So great. All right, talk to you later. Hello, Gremolinos. It has been so dark all day and the sun is finally out, so the lighting is just bizarre. Hi, it is the end of my lunch break. Oh, I left over here. And I wanted to talk a tiny bit about Chef's Kiss. I'm not super far in. So far we've met Simone and a number of other characters. The key thing here is that Simone works for a like cooking magazine called like The Discerning Chef, and it's either, the goofy thing is it sounds like even though the magazine has existed for a long time, the branding of it is a bit confused. Like it's not sure whether it's for chefs or for amateur cooks, and at the current point of publication they're actually losing money. Like no one's really buying it, and they're just not getting the views that they need, so they're trying to shift to like digital. Now this reminds me a little bit of Delish. I believe Delish had a magazine and then they shifted to trying to do digital content on YouTube, and now they have completely done away with their YouTube content because there were some issues from what I understand. Not entirely. Krista and I used to watch their like theme park videos, and they're like eating the full menus at certain restaurants, which were cool but also seemed exhausting and uncomfortable for all the people who were filming them for the most part. Like it's a lot of work. And then they like kind of just stopped making them at a certain point. I'm not sure why, who knows, but this is kind of reminding me of that, because I do believe Delish is a magazine that I never read, though I do have one of them. I have the Delish Disney edition. I use it every May to make Ronto wraps, like the ones at Disney parks that Krista and I have never had. We have never been to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It is on our eventually we would love to go list. We had hoped to go as a honeymoon, didn't happen. This is a bit of a tangent, but I use the Delish Disney magazine every year because it has the clutch sauce recipe and the coleslaw recipe that you need for the wrap. So I use it pretty frequently for that, at least. But that's what this is reminding me of. So Simone is really just a recipe writer, and now she's being told she has to make content. Like, you'll be filmed, you're going to be on video, we're going to do YouTube videos with you in them, and she really doesn't want to do it. She does. The videos do not perform well. They're more her doing, they call it hands and pans, where it's the like showing how a product is made, and people really aren't into it. And then what happens is Ray, who's been brought in as like the new kitchen manager, as of right now, everyone is referring to Ray as she, because she has not come out as non-binary, so I am going to use she right now, even though Ray is they before the end of the book. But as of right now, only she pronouns are being used for Ray. And so Ray, as the kitchen manager, just kind of as a joke with Petey, who is the like videographer that they brought in, they film like a silly little video, actually not little, it's pretty long, of Ray making beer, because Ray is a home brewer, and so the two of them do the video kind of together. It's kind of a fun time, and Petey accidentally uploads it to the wrong channel. He has like his own private YouTube channel, and he was gonna put it there for his friends, but asthma is a jerk today. But he accidentally puts it on the Discerning Chef website, and it explodes. It does so well that the head of the company has decided that they're just going to make more videos with Ray instead of doing these hands and pans videos that aren't doing well. And the guy they brought in to like be in charge of digital content is pissed. His name is like Chase, I think. Oh, my battery's dying. That's inconvenient. But so far that's where we are. What's happening here, I know, I totally just burped. Sorry, I had soda before I filmed. I'm coughing. All the things are happening right now. blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I was not expecting my battery to need charged. So Simone is like attracted to Ray, but doesn't like the dynamic of like flirting in the kitchen where she works. And so she kind of told Ray to like leave her be, even though Simone is bi and into Ray. But like, it's very difficult. I am loving the rep so far. Simone has a trans roommate who is very cool. And there was like a whole discussion about how like trans people should not have to lead you on a journey of understanding trans people, which was delightful. And then we have not gotten into Ray's like non-binary discussion, but I have figured out why Ray is not the main character in the story. It's because Ray would be too similar to the lead in Triple Sec, who is a bartender mixologist kind of thing. And it would be too similar. So I'm guessing this was done as Simone as the lead, and then the Ray, because if Ray, who makes homebrew, was the main character of this and non-binary, it would just be too similar to Triple Sec in terms of main character. So I do understand now why it's Simone, even though I do think Ray would be slightly more interesting. Simone is just very angry about this turn of events, so she's a little like standoffish with everyone, and so we're not getting as much about people as I think we would if Ray was our protagonist. But we'll see. I'm enjoying it so far. Not too far in, and now I gotta charge my battery. So this clip was chaos. Are we not surprised? Also, Chloe's doing a little better. She was up and about and bounding around on her foot while Krista was here and was fine. I don't know. Neither one of us can figure out what's going on. But I'm gonna go. Sorry, this was just like a chaotic, I coughed, I slightly burped. The lighting's bad. I know the lighting's bad. And I have my hood up because I'm cold. It's warm outside. I'm cold. But yeah, I'll talk to you more about Chef's Kiss when I finish it, I think, at this point. And after I charge my battery. So I'll talk to you later, Gremlinos. My dearest Gremlinos, my hair's a little bit of a mess because I've genuinely had my hood on all day. It is after work. Actually a little ways after work. Krista is at court. I am drinking a strange concoction, and I'm only telling you what this is because I think it's very funny. So Krista bought a peach wine, but it was like peach wine extreme or something goofy. And she was like, yeah, it's like kind of high proof, which is odd because a lot of wines typically have a pretty high like alcohol percentage. This is like 16, which I think is actually normal for a number of wines, but it tastes like liquor, like peach liquor, which is very weird because it's listed as a wine, and it actually recommends that you just drink it over ice. We tried it yesterday. There's a Binks, in case you wondered why my camera angle got so weird all of a sudden. He's gonna try and steal my strap from my camera. But we tried it yesterday and it was so, ooh, it just did not have a pleasant flavor. So I mixed it yesterday with a peach, oh gosh, what is it? Like a seltzer water thing. And it was fine, but the flavor was still really strong. So today it's in a diet fake off-brand Dr. Pepper, and it still tastes very alcohol-y. And I used like liquor style pouring. Like there's not much in here and it's still very strong. At least in flavor, whatever brand it is just like, it has very much leaned into the alcohol flavor of the wine, which is so weird to me. But there's so much still in the fridge. But I told Krista because we'd poured it into cups and it's just sitting in a cup. I don't know why we're barking. It's in a cup. So I'm like slowly working my way through it this week. So I made this drink over here. But I'm here because I finished Chef's Kiss. And I can totally see why Kayla thought it should be Ray. I really do. Simone is a good character to follow because I feel like this is setting you up to understand Triple Sec. So if you read Chef's Kiss and you wanted more from it, Triple Sec is a very just like queer, gender fluid, polyamorous time. Chef's Kiss is slow. It is primarily just about Simone and Ray's relationship, as Simone understands that Ray is non-binary, and it's a lot of Simone learning to use they them pronouns, Simone having friends who will help her get used to using they them pronouns, Simone being around trans people who are going through different surgeries and understanding like top surgery, female feminization surgery. I think it's female. There's facial feminization surgery. Yeah, facial feminization surgery. Sorry. It's FFS. And my brain always does it wrong when I try and understand it, like spell it out. That's discussed. It's a lot of discussion of like cis folks understanding trans and non-binary folks. And so this feels like a precursor book. Like read this so that when you go into Triple Sec, you have fewer questions. You are a well prepared cis or trans non-binary ally, but it is coming in more educationally to me than it is romance. Like this is, I'm like, if you're following Simone, so I'm also a cis bi woman, what you're doing here is following Simone on her journey to understanding Ray and really making sure that she can support them in the best way possible. And literally after I filmed that clip, we got to Ray coming out to Simone. So if I just waited a little, I would have used they them pronouns the entire time. But I did want to point out that for a while, everyone is using she pronouns, and that's how the book starts. It's a little bit like, there was a Carmilla, the web series novelization, and throughout that book, a character that you know if you've watched the show that is non-binary was written with she, her pronouns for a majority of that book. And then the author had to like go online. Very few people I think have read the novelization at this point, but I had to come on and be like, well, the reason it's she, her is our main character, Laura, in that doesn't know that she should be using they, them pronouns because Laugh has not told her that they use they, them pronouns. So as we had not gotten there, I just held off. I will say I did enjoy this, but again, it doesn't really feel like a romance. It feels more like a character journey for Simone. Now there are feelings, but it's so slow burn that nothing comes of them until literally like the second to last chapter. And there is a scene before that, but it's not actually between the characters. I won't get into how that works, but like it's not really between them. So it's a bit different. It's a tease, I feel like, for what could happen in the future, but it's very slow, very chaste, as opposed to Triple Sec that is very sex positive. So this just feels like the book that you write first if you're going into traditional publishing to establish certain parameters for your readers to be like, know these things, and here's my second book that is more established in the sense of you should know this going in. So it feels like a very definite precursor book that if you haven't read something like this or are familiar with trans and non-binary like discussion elements or things you should know as a cis person, I just feel like this is a helpful like learning tool. So TJ Alexander is being very nice in that they basically wrote a book to make you a better person and prepare you for life around non-binary and trans people. But also definitely read Triple Sec. I freaking love that book. And I love the characters in that book, and it's very gay, very queer. It's just a delightful time. This is also very gay, very queer. There are a lot of queer characters we are introduced to who are not main characters, but they are key to the plot, and that was delightful. So I did enjoy this. I just feel it's so slow burn. I was just like, there's just it's very flirty as opposed to romancy to me. So while it is still a romance novel, if you liked this but wanted more spice, Triple Sec. Just go to Triple Sec, read this, then Triple Sec. I'm just saying, I love Triple Sec so much. But that's the last book for this vlog. So I got my 2 Buzzword books done for accessories and ordinal numbers. I read Dear Mothman, which is very sweet. And I read Chef's Kiss, which again, this could have counted for the Trans Rights Readathon if I was good at dates, which I'm not at this point in my life. I keep forgetting dates for all things, all the time. I have notes in my calendar on my phone. Next year, someone remind me, maybe, can someone like throw something at me metaphorically? Like, I'll just try and pay better attention, but knowing my luck, I will still miss it in some capacity. I should do an actual video, like in March, even if I like screw up and don't do the whole thing, at least something. I do try and read, if you have been here for a while. If you haven't, you might not know this, but I try and read a lot of like queer, trans, non-binary, gay stuff. Like that is a thing I'm very interested in reading. I'm a bi woman, married to a lesbian. I'm very into like all the gay stuff all the time. So I do try and like find books that have diverse characters or like representative characters. There are some people's lists for Trans Rights Readathon where I was like, I have read some of these and they're so good. So like I really try to like mix them in all the time, but I know I could read more, especially because I do like, I'm also playing catch up in some genres where like I haven't read all of Stephen King, and there are some Stephen King that I still want to read, and he's just like a white dude that writes books. And there are other like not as diverse folk that I want to read books from, and that's still gonna happen. But I do try and like mix stuff in. I still have just like so many things. In June, I really do make it a priority to read only gay stuff. That's like my big June goal, is just gay stuff all the time. So be prepared for that. I normally try and get my like money's worth out of KU at that point. I read so many indie published things, and I have so many books already like prepped for June. And I'm sure there will be books that I will want to read again. There may be some books that like pop back in this June, I'm thinking, possibly. We shall see. But yeah, so that is everything. If you have suggestions based on any books in this vlog, that would be great. I, again, am very strongly encouraging everyone to read Triple Sec. I have commented, I swear to you, on at least 2 of Kayla's videos being like, please read Triple Sec. Because she's mentioned Chef's Kiss, and I'm just like, please read Triple Sec. You have to read Triple Sec, please. Because I think she would like it. And also, I just really like that book. And like, it's so different for like modern romance, like for current romance readers, I feel like, because it is a poly gender fluid queer book, and it's so good. And I just think it should be promoted a lot because it's really good. Anyway, that's the end of this video. I have a bunch of library books out that I need to read, and it's a lot of horror, so you're going to see a lot of horror with a little bit of the Locked Tomb trilogy, because I do have Harrow the Ninth and Nona the Ninth in at the library that I have to pick up, and I'm just gonna like weave them in since they'll be really hard to talk about because they're sequels. So yeah, they're gonna happen. I want to read them, but I have a ton of horror that's waiting for me. I have a ton of horror requested. Oh no, sorry, it's totally that beverage. Also, I had a Jersey Mike sub for lunch, part of one that we had left over, and I don't know that my body appreciated a day-old sub. It tasted good, but also day-old sub. So before, I embarrassed myself more on the internet, because, you know, things happen. Life happens. Bodily functions happen when you're not prepared for them. Oof, I actually have a little bit of heartburn. I'm blaming the wine. I'm really just trying to finish this glass and the wine that's in the fridge because it's not good wine. But anyway, I like, subscribe, all those things. And I will see you in the next one, Grandma Lee Knows. Bye!